Hello my friends, today I'm going to rank all the coasters at my favorite park, Kings Island. I know you're going to be surprised at a few, especially my number one. With 14 coasters to rank, there's a lot to cover, so let's get started. Starting off on our list at number 14 is Great Pumpkin Coaster. Let's just get this one out of the way. Great Pumpkin Coaster is an exciting ride for the little kids. It's only 8 feet tall. It serves its purpose as giving kids their first roller coaster experience. Adults can only ride this ride with a little kid, so bring one to the park with you. And Vertigo is an inverted boomerang coaster by Vekoma. The wait time can be very long because it only runs one train. Unfortunately, the restraints are pretty uncomfortable, but still, there are only 3 rides like it left in the world. Get your rides in on this one while you still can, because I really expect to see this ride removed in the not so distant future. But that's a topic for another video. My number 12 is another inverted Vekoma coaster, but this one does not go upside down like in Vertigo. Flying Ace Aerial Chase is designed for younger kids and their families, but still for its size, it's fun and intense. For me, it's worth a ride every once in a while. It's fast and has a lot of great changes in direction. Also, someone tall, like me, may feel like they're going to hit their feet on a support beam. I don't think that would ever happen. Finishing with all these kiddie rides is my number 11. Woodstock Express is a small traditional wooden coaster for the little ones. I remember riding it as a young kid when the ride was called the Beastie, so there's a lot of warm fuzzies here. It's pretty difficult for some adults like me to squeeze themselves into this train, but it's very well worth it to feel like a kid again. I always love these small kiddie coasters. Hey guys, stick around, my number 1 coaster might surprise you. This list can only get better from here. Backlash Stunt Coaster is a small, heavily themed steel coaster designed by Premier Rides. It was originally known as Italian Job Stunt Track when it opened in 1995. The ride is only 45 feet tall, but the sudden 40-mile-per-hour launch right out of the station is exhilarating. I also love the long, twisting dark tunnel during the finale. It's a good coaster, but not the park's best. We're getting to those. Flight of Fear is unique and has a really fun theme. The UFO inside the indoor queue area still makes me smile. The ride itself is one of the most intense coasters at the park. Every time I get off this ride, I ask myself, what just happened? If the restraints were just a little more comfortable, it would rank a lot higher on my list. But still, it's really fun. Racer is a classic wooden coaster with historical importance. This ride opened with the park in 1972 and has been credited for creating the roller coaster renaissance of the 1970s. Here's a deep thought. The roller coaster riding hobby that we all enjoy might have turned out very differently for all of us if it weren't for Kings Island's Racer. The care Kings Island has put into this ride lately has allowed Racer to regain its popularity, a second life, if you will. Now, can we just convince the park to run one side backwards again, like in the old days? Opening in 2014, Banshee is one of the newer coasters at the park. It's an inverted coaster designed by popular Swiss coaster manufacturers B&M. This ride features one of the best drops on any coaster I've ever been on. It's my favorite B&M inverted coaster. I love the theme and the awesome scream sound effect at the top of the lift hill. I know. Why is Adventure Express ranked so high on my list? This mine train, built by now defunct legendary coaster maker Aerodynamics, has not aged well. And just when I thought the ride was probably nearing the end of its days, Kings Island goes ahead and updates the ride's entrance and theme. With all the ride's faults, it gives you a great trip through the woods, through tunnels, diving over and under itself. I'm really happy that the park gave it some attention this season. You could consider it to be a new coaster this year, maybe. Rising from a wooded hillside far away from the park's other rides, the Bat is well worth the long walk. Like the previous coasters on my list, it's hard to find coasters built by Aerodynamics these days, especially inverted coasters like this one. It's a really fast ride with a height of 78 feet and speeds of 51 miles per hour. Seems faster than that, really. I have a feeling that it has a lot more life left in it. I sure hope so. Do you think you know what my number 1 Kings Island coaster is? We'll see. My number 4 is Orion. Orion is one of the tallest and fastest roller coasters in the world with a 300-foot drop, or is it 299? No one really knows for sure. Looking down, when you are at the top of the lift hill, is breathtaking. It seems to take forever to reach the ground. When this ride opened in 2020, I wasn't a huge fan at first, but the more I ride it, the more I like it. It keeps growing on me. Maybe it will rank higher on my list in upcoming years. I just think the ride seems too short, or like it's missing something. It kind of needs another hill or helix. It could have done one more trick. Still, 4th place isn't so bad. 3 more to go. Can you guess what my number 1 is? Here's a clue. Number 1 is not Mystic Timbers, because it's my number 3. Even though Mystic Timbers is not the biggest or the fastest coaster in the park, there is something magical about this coaster. I love the twisted first drop and how this ride travels over Whitewater Canyon and the railroad. I love that the ride has an out and back layout but sneaks in all those sudden changes in direction. It offers a thrilling yet comfortable ride, and it's a lot of fun to see which of the 3 different endings you're going to get in the shed. It's not only one of the best coasters in the park, it's one of the best in the world. Only 2 more coasters left. If you know the park well, when I tell you number 2, you're going to be able to figure out my number 1. So here it is. Diamondback is really tall with a 215-foot drop. This B&M Hypercoaster is really fast with the top speed of 80 miles per hour. This ride has all the airtime you'll need. Seems like you're out of your seat more than you're in it. It ends with an epic, dramatic splashdown. But don't worry, you won't get wet. The trains are very comfortable and offer staggered seating so that every seat gets a great view. I just love this ride so much. It's almost always the first ride I go to when I enter the park. If I don't head to Diamondback first, I head to my number 1. But before we get to number 1, if you're finding value in this video, please hit the like button. I often tell people that the Beast is not just a roller coaster ride. It is an experience you will never forget. Everyone remembers their first ride on the Beast because it's insane. I mean really insane. The first drop is only 135 feet and it's not really even that steep, but that's why it's so much fun. All the drops on this ride are rampy, for lack of a better word. Instead of lifting you out of your seat like some other coasters, Beast makes you feel the speed as you rumble your way through a huge secluded forest full of hilly terrain and tunnels. It's exhilarating, it's mind-numbing, and like I said before, it's unforgettable. Now the Beast was in danger of dropping a few spots on this list because it was getting really rough over the years. Then it opened a little late in the 2022 season because it received some extensive retracking. The love the ride got was very much needed because it was getting pretty rough. Some people are saying that the new smoothness has taken away what made the ride feel so out of control, but I think now it's just right. What do you think? Everyone is different, so I'd love to hear how your ranking differs from mine in the comment section below. Anyway, that's a wrap. If you've enjoyed this video, please help me out by watching another one of my videos on your screen now. You know you want to. Until next time. It's an Vertigo coaster designed by popular Swiss coaster manufacturer Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it. B&M. Okay.